Alright, ni hao. I have a different tone in my voice because I have a bone to pick with you, dear Chinese language. I understand that language is different. Let me get a little closer. I understand that language evolves and changes. What I don't understand is how it can change this much. And I suppose I should warn some of you, this is not my normal video. I've been sharing with you mostly the wah, waha, aha, yay moments because I have a lot of those. Not right now. My beautiful color-coded spreadsheet of the kanji radicals, both by stroke order in one sheet and then in pinyin alphabetical order in another sheet, was trying to put those characters into Pleiko because I'm toying with the idea of using Pleiko instead of Anki, because although I like the customization of Anki, it's taking too much time to make flashcards and I'm losing a lot of study time. And I couldn't figure out why it was so hard to find some of the characters that looked somewhat familiar to me. And then I thought, uh-oh, I hit one that was really familiar and it didn't look familiar. The pinyin was familiar, the meaning was familiar, and guess what wasn't? The character. And you know where this is going. My lists were clearly traditional characters. Not a complete loss, because I was only about 8 in when I realized this. But I spent time organizing and color-coding the charts with the traditional characters. If anybody wants them, let me know. I have some. I'll probably delete them in the next hour, honestly. Because I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. But that's the tip of the iceberg. So let me, at week 13, share some of the more annoying things that keep coming up, in addition to the traditional versus simplified conundrum. And I'm really, really careful usually on making sure that I have the right one. And especially with these radicals, I mean, I started with radicals on what, week 2? Like, I've been honing in on these guys from the beginning. The same ones, nonetheless. I've been making different kinds of cards in different places in different ways and studying them in different methods throughout the 13 weeks. And, ugh, I have like really bad summer hair day. I don't care. I'm so frustrated right now. Okay. In addition to the 2 kinds of characters, traditional and simplified, things like hair, Sean, I cannot really do that first tone yet, but I'm trying, comes up literally in every dictionary and every list I find it in, different meaning. It's either hair. In this particular one that I just downloaded, it's bristle. Sometimes it's hairy something, which sounds more like an adjective than a noun. So it's sort of changing part of speech. Okay, fine. Guang, dotted cliff, or just cliff. Or not quite sickness, because that's 2 strokes at the top, 2 dots at the top instead of 1, right? I think. But it changes also the meaning depending on the list that I'm looking at. Jin, the one that literally looks like a scarf. Turban, towel, headscarf. I've seen so many different definitions for this. Oh, where do I keep going? Do you see where I'm going with this? Oh, one last one. Thumb, chun. I don't actually see it here. Wait, I want to actually find the right tone. Oh, it's tone 4. Chun is either thumb or inch or some other form of measurement. And I understand that the characters are ideas of meanings. And even in English and in Spanish and blah blah blah, in many languages, a word can have multiple meanings. But for the love of God, people, when we're building lists of basic building blocks, can we all agree on a starting meaning? Please? Please. Please. This is so intensely frustrating. I think this is why people give up and they go to a classroom and they learn the meaning that their teacher tells them and they give up all of their linguistic language learning freedom, because it is frustrating to find so many different meanings for the same thing when you're trying to get the base meaning down. The base meaning. If this is hard to find, how are you supposed to build on it? I had the best day with characters today. I had a really good breakthrough with saying them in the tax office. I had this amazing thing I found on Twitter from Hacking Chinese about the phonetic component, and I almost understand that, even though I'm not able to use it or to look for it or anything like that yet. So I had like all kinds of things happening today. And then I came to make this list, or try to make these, essentially a flashcard deck in Pleco, and I was going really fast, but then I hit a few that I couldn't find in there, and I couldn't figure out why, because my Pleco, I keep saying it wrong, is set to simplified, and of course when I cut and paste it would show up because it would just go into, I guess, the big database of all Chinese characters, simplified and traditional, but it wouldn't pick it up just when I was drawing it or when I was putting in the pinyin, even with the tone number. It wasn't coming up, and I finally figured out I had the wrong one, and then the meanings were wrong, so when I went in to get, not wrong, but they were different, so I went in to find a different list that had the simplified characters with the right kanji number, with the right pinyin and the right meaning, but the meanings are different, and that's fine. I'll memorize a new meaning. I've got time. But it was like yay, yay, yay moment, and then boom, giant wall. Just to wrap up, there are multiple versions of the Chinese characters depending on if you use simplified or traditional. And then with the 4 or 5 tones, you have pinyin that could be 5 different ways depending on the tone that you use with it, or for the 5th one, no tone at all. Then you have, and this is my favorite, sounds that are exactly the same, with the pinyin and with the tone, exactly the same, with a different character and a different meaning. I repeat, dear Chinese language, are you trying to kill my brain? I'm so frustrated right now. Like, my goal for the night was to sit down and to put the 214 characters into Pleco, be done with creating stuff for these common radicals, and just review them from here on out. I'm sick of creating, It's still really hot, even though it's nighttime. This is Bunny Bunny. And my phone keeps overheating. So in the middle of my rant, it completely just cut out. I've put Bunny Bunny on my head because I need to chill out. And he is far too silly for me to stay seriously frustrated for a long time. I'm about to go sign up for a class and give up exploration on the internet, and that really annoys me because I have nothing wrong with language classes, nothing wrong. I was a language teacher for a long time, but a big part of this, and yeah, he's going to stay there, a big part, so which means I have to like bend down for this to all fit. There we go, because I don't want to cut off his ears. A big part of this experiment for me is not just learning the language, but seeing what kind of materials are out there and seeing what kind of materials are missing, because I'd like to go on the creation side at some point. Obviously, quite far down the line because I have to learn the language well enough to be able to teach the language in some sort of form. But I want to go over to the creation side at some point, and I need to know what's out there. And this is my way of doing both of those things at the same time. So just going to a class and using a predetermined set of books and whatnot does not serve that purpose. And to be quite honest, I've done that a number of times in Spanish, and with very, very mixed results. Mostly, it's good to meet other students, but it's a little bit boring for me, especially as a former language teacher. I feel like I want to train a lot of the teachers. Not that I know everything, but I learned a fair bit over a decade or so, longer actually, about how to teach language, and a lot of times the beginner classes are given to the new teachers, and so inevitably you get someone who hasn't taught for a while. If anybody has a really interesting story, if you'd like to know his story and why a 45-year-old woman has a stuffed animal readily available in her home, just let me know and I'll tell you. It's attached to me leaving a PhD program in linguistics. Shocker. So I'm really frustrated right now. I still want to finish these 214 cards in Playco because I want to be done with radical card creation tonight, and I just want to study for the next week. I just want to study. I don't want to create. I want to use predetermined apps and Playco's, cards, and I want to move forward. I think Anki might be too much for me, which was my initial reaction the first 600 times, but I do like a lot about it. I'm not going to lie. But I don't think I have the time right now to keep up with it, and I find myself not studying because I don't have new material. And that is huge, and it's even going to get worse in August because my work schedule explodes in August. So I need something where I can just punch in a word and then save it to a deck or flashcard group or whatever you want to call it, depending on the tool that you're using, and then review it later. The nice thing that I'm noticing about Pleco, not Playco, Pleco, is that you can either review it with the time-space repetition or you can view them all. And that was something I wasn't able to do readily in Anki. I had to keep making custom cards if I wanted to review more than just the predetermined set. And I find that even though something might have come easily one day, it didn't necessarily come back to me the next day, even if I saw it in the wild. So I do want to review more often than just the time-space repetition wants me to review. So I'm going to push forward. It's about 8:12 at night. I go to work tomorrow morning. That sounds weird. I go to my next location tomorrow morning, and then I work on Wednesday. It's Monday, I think, right now. So I do have somewhere to be, and I still have to pack and clean before I leave. But I really want this to be over. I want 214 radicals done. Done, 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 done. And then I just want to study them. I just want to go back to studying, not creating. I wouldn't mind creating apps to be used, but I don't want to create my own language material right now. I want to just study and learn and repeat. That's where Bunny Bunny comes into play. Like hopping, like rabbits hopping is like learning, repeating, repeating, repeating. Yeah, we're going to pretend like this was a completely planned event here. I debated whether to upload this video, but I think it's important in this vlog to include both the good and the bad. And there's a lot of good. There's a lot of aha moments, and there's a lot of breakthrough moments, and there's a lot of all that stuff. But my spreadsheets that I was so proud of, and categorizing and alphabetizing and finding like this and like that and similar this and similar that, it's all gone because they're the wrong characters. The opinion's probably still the same, but I have to start over. Okay. Well, that was fun, and now I'm using my mouse to shut off my phone, which clearly doesn't work because the button's actually right here. I don't even remember the word for goodbye at this point because I'm so frustrated. So I'm going to look it up. I'm on the phone that has the sound for it doing it correctly, so this is going to come out wrong. It's my day of triumphs and mistakes, otherwise known as Monday. Say goodbye to Bunny Bunny. Zaijian. Zaijian, Bunny Bunny. Zaijian, Stephanie. Goodbye, everybody. I swear I'll be better next time. Maybe I won't. Yeah, I will. Bye.